Hi folks, and welcome to another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast, your favorite train-based video game website's podcast. And if it's not, please tell us who it is so we can feel especially upset about it. I'm your host, John, and this week we've got two good folks that haven't been on the show in quite a while, especially one of them who, Andy, you haven't been on, since you've been on here, maybe? I don't know.
I've been on here once since you guys hired me. That's right. I still work here.
That's right. I mean, of course, you're still putting in the work. You're helping with video. We're not saying that you're just slacking off or anything, but
you can say that. I've been busy.
Yeah, you have a lot of other podcasts and school and a bunch of other shit that you have to do. So I think everybody understands, but we are happy to have you here.
Guys, I'm not fired.
Not yet, anyway. We'll see. Niall, you're also here.
Yeah, I was on 2 or 3 weeks ago. It hasn't been that long. I mean...
It feels like it's been a long time.
Well, it hasn't, so...
Maybe it just feels like...
I guess,
Maybe it just feels like a long time because I think you were on before I moved?
Yeah, the week before you moved.
So it just feels way longer because now it's just before the move and after the move. They're like before I moved is this ancient time that I don't think about anymore. Mm-hmm. So please excuse me. I promise that I'm not trying to make it seem like you're not around. It just feels like a long time because a big thing happened. But no, I'm glad that both of you are here. We're gonna have a great time today.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
Oh, come on.
Fine. I'll try.
We'll try. No promises.
All right. Okay. As long as you try, I can't get upset about it. So, Andy, it's been a hot minute since you've been on. You did say you were busy, but, we are a video game website, and I think that you have some opinions about video games that you might want to share.
Some may say I have incredibly strong opinions about everything, and that it gets very annoying.
I don't know. I mean, I think some people say that about lots of different people, and those people can chill. So...
Yeah.
What's been up with you?
I've been playing stuff here and there, but school and other things have kind of gotten in the way. Mm-hmm. I guess the stuff that's of note that I've played since we last talked, the big one I've got going right now is I just got BattleTech, which feels made for me. Does that make sense?
Sure, yeah, of course. There are definitely games where I'm just oh, this is John's game. So this is an Andy game.
It is one of those, it's a game that I described it to you the other night as I spent 2 hours playing one mission and I felt incredibly drained afterwards, but I would never, I want to go back to it immediately, even though I'm it's just a stress machine sometimes, because, John, I know you were on the stream with Scott, playing it. Niall, I don't know how much of it you've seen.
Basically nothing, honestly.
It's a very, systems-heavy strategy game based around piloting giant robots, which is, if you wanted to, extract, some buzzwords out of my brain that I really liked, those would be all of them. And it's got permadeath and you can target limbs and you have to manage your heat and all this shit, and it's the most intimidating thing in the world, but I cannot recommend it enough. Also, I did name my squadron, my mercenaries, we've talked about the piss gatherers on here before, right?
Probably.
I named them that for you, John.
Thank you.
John, do you want to explain the piss gatherers just in case anyone doesn't know what those are?
Alright, well, I'm not exactly sure how I thought about it, but I just thought about the concept of this group of people that live in the sewers, and whenever you piss, they gather it up and to keep it safe. And they're heroes, And if I remember correctly, I claimed that they were aligned with the Autobots from Transformers. Mostly because I think at that time I just like to do a really bad Optimus Prime impersonation, and I thought it was really funny to just be like, "The Piss Gatherers are our allies in this great struggle to keep the Earth safe." Like that's all I was doing. Like just so the Piss Gatherers are also in their mechs fighting for freedom. I guess.
You know what, John? You're right. That
Yes.
was a bad Optimus Prime impression.
It really was.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm just having a good time tonight.
I would just like to say that you basically created a faction of sewer-dwelling perverts and called them heroes.
Yeah.
And that's why I will always call you my editor-in-chief, even if I'm not working here.
The sewer drone. Yes. But yeah, so maybe could you extrapolate a little bit on the mechanics of the game? Because you did say it was systems heavy.
For sure.
So what are the systems?
Thank you. I do much better when I'm given direction here, which is not great in BattleTech, because after the tutorial, it's pretty much just like, hey, do you want this fucking mission? And I'm at that phase now. It's a lot. Anyway, so this was made by Paradox, published it, the people who did Crusader Kings, but it's developed by Harebrained Schemes, the people who do the new Shadowrun games.
Okay.
And it kind of is a little bit like that. It's kind of like a loose hex-based grid that you're on. And you can it's turn-based, obviously. It's not an RTS, thankfully. I can't handle those. And you're given a squad of up to 4 robots that you can move and stuff. And the big thing is that you have to manage those robots while also fighting. And a lot of that management comes in form of like ammunition. Your robot can overheat, and that ties into like, I have done missions on a like desert planet and on a ice planet, and that'll affect how you're like, if you're on a cold planet, you won't overheat as quickly. But if you're in if you're in a hot environment, it's harder to cool down. And then I think in space, it's like if you don't have an atmosphere, it's even worse, I've heard. I haven't done that yet though. There's a lot of like environmental stuff. There's like cover, but it's not like XCOM where it tells you you're in cover. You have to just like run into the trees or behind a building, and then like brace yourself, and then that'll give you the bonus to defenses. It sounds really complicated when I describe it, but playing it has felt really intuitive, which I think says a lot about how well designed it is. It definitely seems like the type of thing that one takes a lot of time to get into. Like it's even though it's not developed by them, it is still a Paradox game, and if anyone's tried like Crusader Kings or Europa Universalis, those games are incredibly dense.
Yes.
And this one, I'm like, I don't know what type of, like, there's like 4 different weapon types, and like within that, there's different weapon types. You have to manage the range of your weapons. It doesn't automatically tell you. Like, it has ways of showing you the ideal range. There's like a cone you have, and then it's different color, like it's different opacity, I guess, depending on how effective your shot would be from that range. And then, but
Okay.
like, you got to figure out like, oh no, wait, I shouldn't be using my long range missiles here because 1, there's like a 25% chance to hit because I'm so close, and 2, they're not going to do shit because it's so close. And a lot of this stuff when I'm describing it, 1, I'm doing, I like, it's very hard to describe this game without like showing someone because it's got so many like graphs and shit. But it doesn't ever feel like, I have never had to stop that game and Google stuff yet, which I've had to do a lot with Paradox's past games. I think that's a testament to it being a little more accessible than their usual fare. I don't remember what else there's about. Oh, there's also like, do y'all remember that game where it was, I can't remember I think it was a Divinity spinoff. Where you were like a dragon that flew over the map during an RTS game.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I cannot think of the name.
But so there's a lot of similarities in the hub to that game, weirdly enough, because that game also had like between missions. I played like 20 minutes of this game, but between missions, you'd go to this like your like airship thing, and you'd have different rooms where you could do different functions. But then there's also people you can talk to there, and that'll affect the campaign. BattleTech is the same. I almost called it Mech Warrior, different game. BattleTech is the same, where you have these like characters, and I don't know how fleshed out they are yet, but the universe they've set up is, one, really cool, and two, has so much like extended universe stuff that when I looked up like, hey, what worlds are in this game? How's the story? The wiki was like, this is apocryphal. Because it's not canonical, and I was like, well, okay, I didn't need you to make it sound like the Spanish Inquisition or something. But thank you for telling me that this does not line up with the tabletop game.
That's funny. It's
weird. I've never had a game described as apocryphal before, but I'm very into it.
That sounds about right.
It's cool though. I definitely recommend anybody to check out the stream you and Scott did. John, just from like seeing it, how did you feel about it?
It looked really neat. It was a little hard to say exactly how I would feel about it because Scott did multiplayer, so that's a different beast, I would say, than the single player. I mean, Scott even said like, yeah, I mostly did single player, so this is very different. But it still looked neat. I don't know if I would be too into it because I'm pretty bad at those like more systems heavy games, but it definitely seemed pretty cool. And I understand. Excuse me, I understand why you would like it, and I know for a fact Michael would fucking kill for this game.
Oh, Michael, Michael, if you're listening,
you
will love this game. Michael, if you're not listening, why don't you listen to this podcast? Don't you support your friends? I don't understand. He's never going to hear that if he's not listening, though. So, hey.
There you go.
Guess who wins? Andy.
So.
Other than that, though, not much going on with me.
Okay. Yeah. So, we did that stream. Scott played BattleTech. Scott also played another game on that stream that I have some opinions on.
Big fan, huh?
No. So, Scott definitely has different opinions on this game. That's fine. If you watch the ending of that part, I don't know if he cut it out or not, but a lot better than I did. I thought that it was... Well, okay, so it's this game called Heartbreak High. And it is it's trying to be a jokey visual novel where you're dating everybody. And for some reason, you just decide to break up with everyone on that day. And it's like, it's such a wacky premise that, like, there is some comedy innate to that. But I feel like that comedy just kind of falls apart once you start talking to people. And it just gets, like, it gets really heavy, really... with, like, characters, like, basically begging you not to break up with them, and
it's kind of miserable to even watch someone play that game, honestly.
It's just really upsetting to go through it, and, like, there are some comedic parts, and I wish the rest of the game was like that. Like, there's a character who is, like, basically an anime character, and he's, like... I don't actually know, so I guess I'll say they. So they are like the Prince of Tennis kind of character, and in order to break up with them, you play Pong against them, and when you win, then they accept and it's like more funny because they kind of treat it less as this is like a legitimate romantic thing, and more like, we're impassioned lovers and we're rivals, and it's like that kind of thing makes it funny. But when it's just this girl that you're dating, and you're just telling her that you're breaking up with her, and then right afterwards you gotta go break up with this nerdy kid who's like, you're all I have in my life. It's like, okay, this feels really fucking miserable. There's one breakup where you literally have to break up with somebody right after their father died.
Oh my god!
Christ.
Yeah. And it's not fun. It's just miserable. Like, there are a handful of bits that are humorous that work, but I just feel like maybe like there's like 13 breakups you have to do, and I want to say like 7 or 8 of them are just miserable, and the rest of them are kind of funny.
It really sounds like something that's like your mileage may vary on it, you know, like
yeah,
it's again because comedy's subjective, but also like that's some dark stuff with the like, oh yeah, my dad just died. What's up? You want to talk?
Yeah, it's weird. It's real weird. I mean, yeah, like, you know, if you think just like the concept of breaking up with a bunch of people is funny, I guess, because like I said, there are some funny moments, and there are some. It is like a humorous concept, but I just did not like it at all. We have the stream up on the site if you want to check it out. We didn't finish it. We got a game over, so there is more to the game than what you see in the stream. But yeah, I wasn't really too into it. Scott likes it, though, so, you know, if you want to hear a more positive outlook on it, you know, you could talk to Scott about it.
I've definitely seen, like, some positive takes on it, saying that it is, like, a very funny game. I just wonder how much of that's, like, around the stuff that made you upset. Like, I wonder how, like, I wonder if you missed the stuff that would appeal to your humor more, you know? Maybe.
I mean, like I said, like, there are some good bits. Like there's one bit where you have to try to break up with someone while they're on the track team. You have to try to break up with them while they're running the track. So what you have to do is you have to choose the dialogue options, and then there's also like they're running the track on the top of the screen, and you have to like chase after them and jump hurdles and then go back down and pick the like that's funny. That's clever. But you know, I just think that they should have focused more on stuff like that instead of just straight dialogue. Because the parts where it's just the straight dialogue is when it gets miserable.
Yeah, there's a lot of those, like, sort of like new takes on visual novel stuff I've noticed now. Like, people trying to do weird things with the genre now that it's kind of blown up a bit in a more mainstream way.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. I like that there is experimentation. Because visual novels are a very rigid, they're a very rigid genre, and I mean, at the very least, when you look at it on the face value, is when you think of a visual novel, you think of a dating sim. But there are a bunch of different types of visual novels, like Phoenix Wright and Danganronpa and 999. Like those are all visual novels, and they're very different from a dating sim. But like. And I do think that it is good that people are messing around with it. I hope that we get to better stuff, because I think that Doki Doki Literature Club is not great with what it's trying to do, and I also think that Heartbreak High is not great with what it's trying to do. Like, I appreciate what they're trying to do, but I think they both fail pretty much. They don't really stick the landing, in my opinion. But that's me. That's my opinion.
I mean, that's also, like, something that kind of comes when you're trying to do both, like, experiment with a medium and also subvert it in some way. That the margin for error is so much bigger there.
Yeah, like, well, I'm more forgiving with Heartbreak High, because this is definitely just like, oh, hey, I'm trying to do something different, where instead of dating, like this is very much someone saying, oh, there's always a harem route in visual novels. What would happen if you decided to get the hell out of the harem route in a visual novel? Like, that makes sense to me. I will just say Doki Doki Literature Club is a lot more, it's a lot more mean, I guess, at the very least. It is not a good representation of a lot of different things. I do think that the base idea of messing around with, like, your computer is interesting, but also a lot of other games have done that before, so that's not really new.
Yeah.
But, you know, I would rather not have, like, oh man, suicide, that's so scary. Like, stop.
It's... Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of the... Listen, I watch anime too, so no one get mad at me.
Okay.
But anime nerds sometimes need to chill with their stuff.
Yes.
You know?
They do.
Yes.
You know? Just a little bit.
As an anime nerd, yes. Yes, we do.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Still not fired, guys.
Not yet.
Not yet.
We've still got a lot left to go through.
Yeah.
That could change.
You got a whole podcast left, pal.
This is Andy's performance evaluation.
Oh, geez, guys. Oh, no, I'm real nervous.
Niall, how about we go to you? What have you been up to?
I've been playing some games. I've been pretty busy lately, so I haven't had that much time, but when I have, I've been trying to get into some stuff and kind of struggling to do so. I have been, for the last little while, I've been trying to find a game, I suppose, to treat as, I don't want to say as games as a hobby kind of thing, like a hobby grade thing. That's very that's very Randy Pitchford. But I have been looking for a game that like can be my thing, that I can just sit down and play and get into and, you know, really invest some time in. And I've gone through a few games trying to find that. And so the latest one I tried to pick up was Rainbow Six Siege. Yeah. And
how is that? Because I've heard it's improved since launch.
I think, like, so there's a bunch of different versions of that game that you can buy. I bought just the standard one, and that's what I recommend people would buy, because there's like a starter edition, which is, I think it's $15. And it has all the content in it, but it like fucks the in-game economy up completely. So like everything, like to unlock everything takes way longer. And you can't upgrade to a standard if you do it. So if anyone is ever interested in buying Rainbow Six, buy the full version. But yeah, like there's a lot of stuff in that game at this point. I think they're like they've just started season 3. They've just added 2 new, characters, and they're adding another map soon. So at this point, I think there's something like 40 different characters, 20 on attack and 20 on defense. So like it's catering to a lot of play styles, and there's a lot of maps and stuff now. So it seems like it's pretty well put together at this point. That game is intense. I've never played Rainbow Six before, and it's a thing to try and get into that thing. Like, I don't know if either of you have ever played Rainbow Six.
No, I've downloaded it before on free weekends, and then
I haven't either.
Right. So it's like, it's a squad-based game, you know, like one team is defending a point or trying to defend a hostage or has a bomb that they're trying to set off or whatever, and then the other team is tasked with killing everyone, I guess, and then getting in and disarming the bomb or rescuing the hostage or whatever. And that community does not have the best reputation, as I found out when I played. I played through the, like, I don't really want to call it a campaign, because it's more like, here's a handful of missions against AI enemies where you're by yourself as one of these, like, 6 easiest for beginner, like, characters to use. So it's like a very bare bones thing that's just kind of like teaching you the basics of how to play. But my first game that I played, the matchmaking does not seem very good in Rainbow Six. Like, I was playing with people who had been playing a long time, who were like way above me level wise, and I'm there like level 1. 5 minutes into or not even 5 minutes in, like in that first like round, because the way it like is broken up is you basically play best of 5 rounds where you switch between attack and defense. And we were on defense in the first round. I was posted up, I was shooting out, and one of my teammates walked in front of me and instantly got team killed because he walked in front of my line of fire, and that game is super realistic as far as like damage models goes. So I got in trouble with him then for accidentally team killing him because he walked in front of my bullets. And then when we eventually won the entire game, and I got the last kill, but then my team got mad at me for not killing the last guy right. So that was great. That's good. I love that game. Those people seem great. It's definitely not a very beginner-friendly game. I wouldn't say it's probably not as bad as League of Legends or Dota, but it's up there. Everyone is going to yell at you immediately if you don't know everything you're doing straight away. It's a very bad game. If you have anxiety issues, I would say. It seems like a really good game. I would love to play more of it, but I also feel like you kind of need a crew who is willing to bring you in and teach you how to play that game if you're going to get into it, because playing with randos is intense and everyone is very angry all the time, and everyone will let you know how angry they are.
I have a question about that. Do you think the matchmaking is bad because there's just not that many people playing, or is it like super active and you're still getting matched with people who are too high a level for you?
I think it's super active because if you ever go on like Steam DB or anything, it always has 60,000-70,000 people playing at one time. I think it's just that most people who are playing that game have been playing it for 3 years at this point, and so like or have like not only been playing this iteration for years, but have been playing the franchise for a long time. So it's very tough to get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a bummer. I hope you find something that fits you and isn't a bunch of assholes fucking around with you, because, yeah.
Yeah, I would really like to get into Rainbow Six, but I don't know if that's going to happen.
Alright.
Unfortunately. Maybe if it goes on sale at some point, I can convince somebody to play it.
Yeah, we'll see.
I don't know. If anybody has Rainbow Six on PC...
It also does tend to have, like, free weekends now and then.
It does, yeah.
It's one of the more frequent ones compared to, like, other big, multiplayer games that have come out in the past couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems good. The different operators all feel different. Like, I found one pretty quick who I liked the playstyle of. I just wish that it wasn't such a terrible community of people.
That's online.
That's
online.
Welcome to video games.
Yep.
Niall, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Let's see. A lot of stuff happened this week.
It's fucking crazy this week.
I guess the big thing that I can talk about as this website's Battle Royale correspondent, Radical Heights, which launched last month. When it came out, I had kind of said it felt really slapdash and felt like kind of a desperate attempt from Boss Key, and it sure was that, because they shut down that studio on Monday morning.
Just kind of out of nowhere.
Without telling a lot of the employees, too.
Yeah, it sounded like the employees didn't find out until after Cliff Bleszinski went out on Twitter and said, hey, we're closed. Which is a really shitty thing. Like, that's a real bad way to find out you just lost your job.
It is, like, legitimately, like, one of the shittiest things you can do to a person, instead of, like, you have a responsibility to your team.
Yes.
Like, when you run a studio, and you should tell them that this is happening. Because there weren't there employees being like, oh yeah, we're working on it, stuff got delayed, but we're still working on it, and then that day, and then had to be like, never mind.
Yeah, there was like, somebody asked the Radical Heights account for like, or was like, when are you going to add female characters? And one of the devs responded with like, we're working on it soon. And then like 20 minutes responded, actually, I guess we're not working on it ever. So that's a real shitty thing to do. And like the statement that Cliffy B put out was pretty crappy. Like he kind of just talked about himself for the whole thing. It was really like, it was not a good look at all. And that's like, I feel real bad for the people at Boss Key. They're like, I think they were based in North Carolina, I want to say, because I remember actually just like a week or two ago, Cliffy B was out there complaining that Epic were hiring all their staff away to work on Fortnite, and was trying to get people to stay, and now he's closed them down. So yeah, Radical Heights, not great, but it definitely felt like a Hail Mary, and that's what it was. So
it sucks because they're not an that the development team has a lot. Like, I mean, even if they were untalented people, it would be bad. But they're like, Lawbreakers, for as much of a flop as it was, had good stuff in there.
Yeah, I liked that game. I played a decent amount of that game when it came out, and it was pretty good. They can make games, they just didn't have the creative direction, I guess.
I really hope those people land on their feet.
I do too. And I think, like, Boss Key should stand as an example for a lot of these similar studios that are, like, not owned by major publishers and not indies, that, hey, like, chasing the thing that's already popular is not a good idea if you want to, succeed as a company. Like, they chased the, like, Overwatch style hero shooter thing, and that failed pretty badly, and then they went after Battle Royale, and that was a pretty big disaster. So yeah,
the only way it could have been more obvious that they were like that, the like higher ups in that studio were like, we need to get the trend, is if they made a MOBA before all of that too. Right, because those are like the three like big trends in gaming that have both like come, and some of them are kind of like falling off now, right? It was MOBAs, then hero shooters, and now
like Overwatch is just the hero shooter
royales.
now. Like, there were those that like popped up here and there, but Overwatch is just kind of it now. And there's just
Paladins, I think, is still doing okay, but that's about it. Yeah.
TF2 exists.
Yeah, TF2 will always exist.
Yeah, sure.
After the heat death of the universe, TF2. So there's just going to be a server playing TF2 floating around in space.
There'll be someone on there being like, "Hey, does anybody have any keys for my crate?"
Yeah, Stout Shako for Too Refined yelling out into the empty void. Jeez.
I do wish that Clifford had made a MOBA though, because I would love to see a Clifford-headed MOBA.
What do you think that would be like?
Oh, dude, it would have been so fucking edgy.
Yeah.
Because in my headcanon, this would have come before Lawbreakers, right? Because it would need to come in the order of... So I'm thinking something very, like, not quite drawn to death, but still, like, kind of the in-between between, like, the sort of David Jaffe edgy style and then the weird Lawbreakers style that they had.
Yeah.
A lot of gray, brown, and, like... futuristic guns.
Yeah, very like WWF attitude sort of MOBA, I think. Because that's sort of what Lawbreakers was, like.
Who is the Stone Cold Steve Austin of Lawbreakers?
Oh Christ, I don't remember any of their names. There was a character who was like. He was like a big dude, and he had like cyber goth dreads and a gas mask. That's the only character I remember from Lawbreakers.
That sounds like every character from Lawbreakers is the problem. You could have described, like, everyone I've seen, you could have described them like that.
I'm thinking now of, like, Lawbreakers characters, because there was only, like, was it 6 or 8 classes in Lawbreakers, and there was like one of each on each team, I think.
Yeah.
I think there was like a dude who like had like the lower half of his face was like steel or metal. He was like the medic for the Breakers.
There are like 4 characters like that, but Fang, is that his name? I think that's him.
Maybe.
Oh, it's called Lawbreakers. That's stupid.
Yeah, because
I didn't realize that.
They're the Law and the Breakers, and it's got the Rick and Morty guy who's the Blitzball.
You know what? They should have just made this Brink 2 instead. Because that's what that is just the factions in Brink 2 as well. Or Brink, I guess. Brink 2 doesn't exist. Yeah. Nobody quote me saying Brink 2 exists, okay?
Somewhere Michael's ears have just, like, perked up and he doesn't know why.
Look, at this point, after they announced fucking Rage 2, Brink 2 doesn't sound that far off anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kinda stoked for Rage 2 now that they've talked about who's working on that, so I'd take Brink 2 if it had a good team as well.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, like, I'm checking my expectations, but also, like, if you're gonna get people to make a game in an open world where you break shit, the folks who worked on Just Cause is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, speaking of some leaky stuff, we just talked about that,
Back to the piss gatherers.
No, we just talked about that Rage leak and all that. So, I'll talk about some leaks that just happened from Nintendo. And one of them I think is interesting, and one of them is draining my life force. Which should I do first, folks?
Oh, end on the low note.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on. It's 2018.
You're right.
Everybody's all about that depression humor.
Okay. So the first leak that came out is supposedly what Retro Studios is working on. Now, neither of these are confirmed, but pretty much every single leaker person online has basically been like, yes, I've heard this, yes, this is true. So, I would say take this with a very small grain of salt, instead of like a big honking big one. This sounds real. So I guess what Retro Studios has been working on, is a Star Fox racing game. It's going to be called Star Fox Grand Prix. Does this not interest either of you, perhaps?
I mean, it's just the idea of Star Fox racing, like, and not F-Zero. Or
so
like, it's such a weird choice.
It's like if it's R-Wing racing, I could see how that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
From what the leak has said, it's going to be like some kind of R-Wing racing. They compared it mostly to Diddy Kong racing. Like,
okay.
Like the big rumor was that Retro approached Nintendo and said, "Hey, can we make a new Diddy Kong Racing?" And Nintendo said, "No, why don't you do another franchise?" And I guess Retro picked Star Fox. I mean, honestly, if they're going for the Diddy Kong Racing style, I'm kind of glad they didn't go with F-Zero, because I feel like that would just piss people off more.
Sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like F-Zero, if you're making F-Zero, it's not a kart racer type thing. Diddy Kong Racing is very much a kart racer in my mind.
Yeah, like they said that there's going to be some boss fights and some like combat in this as well. So it will be like R-Wing style stuff, but it's going to also be a racing game. Nothing announced yet. I guess we'll really see it at E3, but I'm interested to see it. I'm not down on it. I think a new Diddy Kong Racing with the Star Fox skin sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, my whole thing is just like, isn't there also a rumor that Sega's doing another Sonic racing game?
I mean, that one's supposed to kind of just be a sequel to Sonic R. It's just Sonic. So
okay,
yeah.
But like if it plays like Sonic and All-Star Racing Transformed. And, like, you also have Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I just don't know how many people are clamoring for, like, another party racing game on the Switch especially, because, like, if you're gonna play that, why not just get Mario Kart? Everyone likes Mario Kart and has it already.
See, I mean, like, if Star Fox Grand Prix is gonna be like Diddy Kong Racing, for one thing, Diddy Kong Racing and Mario Kart 64 coexisted on the N64. Secondly, yeah, Diddy Kong Racing is such a different thing from Mario Kart. Like, it is a kart racer, but it has planes, it has airboats, it has all that stuff, and each of those things control so differently. Sonic and All-Stars has the different transformations, but those vehicles still play pretty much the same way as the karts. So, I do think that this Star Fox thing would be different. They would probably have to push it a little bit and be like, yes, this is different from your standard kart racer. This has a lot of different things. But if they do lean on that, I think people would understand and be like, yes, this is a very different thing. This isn't just a Mario Kart. This is something different.
I do hope that I think that if it turns out well and is notably different from the other games in that sort of, I don't want to keep saying kart racer, but like party racer, I guess.
Sure.
Like, not a sim racing game.
Yeah.
Then, like, I'm always for more, like, you know, more people having a different take on that and more variety within a genre.
Absolutely.
But just like hearing Star Fox racing game, it's not real. It's not doing anything for me either way. Like, I'm not negative about it, and I'm not stoked for it either.
Yeah, I definitely want to see gameplay before I'm completely married to it, but, you know, I like racing games.
I will also say, it has been literally over a decade since I've played Diddy Kong Racing, so also that may be why I'm a little more dismissive.
Yeah, it's fine. And then the other leak that is, I'm so upset. So information for the new Pokemon game came out.
Oh.
So instead of being colors or celestial bodies or gems or anything like that, the next Pokemon games are going to be called Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. They are going to be spiritual successors to Pokemon Yellow.
Okay.
So whichever game that you pick is which starter you get. You get either Pikachu or Eevee.
Alright.
You're going back to Kanto. It's Kanto again, which I'll just say I'm not against going back to Kanto per se. If it's just the same map, just pretty, I'm going to be kind of upset about that. But if they do something with it and they're like, oh, Kanto has changed since you've last been here, basically, then yes, I will be more attuned to that. It has been over 10 years since Fire Red and Leaf Green came out, so I'm not mad if they make a new Kanto game, but at the same time, it's like, I do want something different.
I think I have a few feelings when just hearing that. One, I think that this is them kind of playing it safe as their first, because this is on the Switch, right?
Yes.
If this is true, and I'll be honest, even if your leakers are saying it's true, I'm still having a hard time believing it. If it's true, I can see them wanting to play it safe and also wanting, keep in mind, when did Fire Red Leaf Green come out? 10 years ago?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but it had to have been 2000.
2004.
Yeah, 2004. That sounds about right.
So keep in mind, there are so many kids now who never saw Kanto. And that's probably the way they're thinking here if they're going with this.
Yeah, and that's why I'm not necessarily furious about that. I just personally hope that they do something a little different. But if they don't, I do understand, and they've done retreads of Pokemon games before. As long as there is there is something added to it. Hell, Heart Gold and Soul Silver is fucking incredible, and they did just remake the map for those games. But they added enough things to that game and made that game better. That's what I want to see.
I think that one, since they have to do something, they're probably building off Sun and Moon, right? In some ways, they probably are taking some elements of just in the way you interact with that world, right? Whereas a 3D game and you walk around and it's not just a top-down view. There's actual interaction with shit happening on a more detailed level. I can see why they'd want to ease into that with without having to design an entirely new region. And I don't think that they're gonna just rehash Red or Blue or I guess Yellow, since that's the what they're kind of homaging here. And hopefully they will. They've been kind of Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon was a miss, but they haven't been terrible with doing like plot-driven stuff, in my opinion. And I think that they could hopefully do something decent, and that will be sort of the hook for people who have been with Pokemon for a long time, as opposed to the hook for newer fans is, oh, I can go back to the beginning with this.
Yeah.
One.
So that's not really where my concern is. My concern is that they are leaning really hard on Pokemon Go with this game.
Oh.
They have confirmed that there is some form of integration with Pokemon Go. They have, Game Freak has actually outright said that their next game will integrate with Pokemon Go, like, 2 years ago. They said that when Pokemon Go came out. Mm-hmm. So that's not news. The leak, on the other hand, is saying that there will be some form of accessory that will link your phone to your Switch that lets you connect those games, which, sure, whatever. But the thing that scares me is the claim that catching Pokemon works like it does in Pokemon Go.
I don't... So... That's bad, John.
Yeah.
That's really bad. Oh, no.
That's the part that upsets me, that they're bringing in actual gameplay from Pokemon Go into the series. Because Pokemon Go, while it was this amazing phenomenon that brought people together and was a fun thing when it was popular, is a real shitty actual video game.
I wonder if... Because they can't get rid of battling, so why would you just be able to catch Pokemon like that?
I don't know. I mean, my greatest fear is if they make the battling like it is in Pokemon Go, that would suck ass. I kinda doubt they would, because that would ruin so much of the game. But I don't know, that's just such a weird thing. I don't understand, like the fact that the leak doesn't elaborate on that anymore is what's super frustrating. Like, is it just...
Yeah.
Is it just, when you battle a Pokemon and you're about to catch it, you just throw a Pokeball at it, and oh wow, I threw the Pokeball, isn't that crazy? Like, if that's all it is, okay, whatever, but like, if they start going like, oh, you need to flick it a certain way or else you can't catch it, it could dodge the Pokeball, and like, you blow through like fucking 10 Pokeballs just trying to catch one Pokemon, because that's how it is in Pokemon Go, because they want you to spend money, and it's like, no, I paid my, it's probably gonna be $60, because it's on the Switch, so it's like, I paid $60 to buy this fucking game, and I'm gonna be missing Pokeball shots, because it's set up like a free-to-play game. Like, that's gonna be absolute bullshit if they start doing that.
I think we're going, like, that is jumping so far ahead. Especially when you said that this was a little sparse with the details on how it connects.
Yeah. I'm just worried because, like, I don't know. I saw Sun and Moon. When Sun and Moon came out, I saw a Game Freak that was advanced. I saw a Game Freak that was learning from its mistakes. I saw a Game Freak that was starting to accept current trends. But then Ultra Sun and Moon came out, and it was such a step backwards. It felt like an older Pokemon game. So this coming out and them just being like, oh, Pokemon Go made so much money, we need to make it more like Pokemon Go. That scares me, and I wish that it didn't scare me as much as it did. Like, I want to just be able to be like, alright, sure, they put some winks and nods to Pokemon Go, they had some integration, whatever, but I can't help but be really scared with how it's going to turn out. I hope I'm wrong, I really do, because if my fears are correct, I'm absolutely going to be skipping a Pokemon game for the first time in my entire life, but I want to be wrong, you know?
I will make some predictions that people can throw in my face when this game does come out.
Okay, go right ahead.
I think what this leak might be getting at is that if you want to, you can, like, I don't see them getting rid of... One, it makes it less accessible if they get rid of the classic way of, like, catching Pokemon for, like, kids and shit, because sometimes it's just harder for them to do the fucking swipey thing. Two, they don't want to do too much touchscreen stuff on the Switch. they've like that hasn't that been a thing they're moving away from with their console games, so you can have them on the screen.
Yeah,
Yes.
Absolutely. Like,
Yeah,
and that's where it's kind of weird. Where it's like, what are they gonna do if it's gonna work like that? Like, is it just gonna be? I don't know. I mean, you could probably just like flick the Joy-Con to throw the ball, or flick a stick.
See, that's what I think it actually is I think that there's some motion controls in there, and I bet that you can catch smaller Pokemon like that on the world map, and because everyone's been clamoring for a Pokemon game where you can fucking like walk around and throw the Pokemon. Oh, what if they made a Pokemon MMO where you can sneak up on the Pokemon, throw the ball at them? And I bet they've kind of listened to some of that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't think that it is going to be... I think that it is going to definitely integrate Go, because as shitty as it is as a game, it is a smart business decision for them to both make that game relevant again and also give people who are into that game an incentive to buy the new Pokemon game. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, I don't know if they're going to torpedo one of their flagship franchises just to make their mobile game more successful.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe I'm being too optimistic here, but again, with all these leaks, one, is this coming, like, I guess I just don't know how Nintendo works, because if this is coming from, like, a Japanese leaker, stuff could be lost in translation, but I don't know. Maybe I'm grasping at straws here. Yeah,
it's coming from multiple sources, like the original post. So what set this off was a post on 4chan, which, that's usually bullshit. But after that came out, a bunch of people started coming out and being like, oh, I've been hearing the exact same thing. Like, a bunch of reputable leakers have been saying, yeah, I've heard of this. And then, like, someone brought up some old tweets that they made from, like, a year and a half ago that was, like, art that they drew. And it was like, oh, like, I did, like, an Inktober thing or something. And it was like, oh, I drew a Pikachu and an Eevee in the same day. That was supposed to be a hint. I drew, like, the covered yellow version. That was supposed to be a hint. It was like this person has known about this since, like, 2016. And they've just been hinting about it, yeah.
Why are people trying to do fucking Pokemon National Treasure here?
I don't fucking know.
I don't believe that. This is, you've officially made me go the opposite direction, where I think that this is all bullshit.
Well, I mean, Junichi Masuda, the director of Pokemon, has recently been tweeting a lot of pictures of Pikachu and Eevee plushies hanging out together. So,
I mean, whatever, that's fine.
I'm just saying,
give us Detective Eevee, then.
All right.
I don't know.
Okay. Have Eevee be voiced by Danny DeVito. That'll make everyone really mad.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that would make Andy happy.
Oh, boy. So, yeah, that's that. Those are the leaks. I'll talk more about it, I guess, because the last thing about the leak was Emily Rogers, our old friend Emily Rogers, was one of the people that kind of confirmed all this stuff, and she said that they will be revealing these games sometime in the next month, and there's only there's not even 2 weeks left in the month, so. We're going to hear about this soon, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Maya, would you like to talk about some other tidbit of info?
Sure. Everyone's favorite console, speaking of handhelds, the PlayStation Vita. The Vita, it means life, but it's not going to be alive much longer. They're not making physical games for the Vita anymore, basically. Sony have put the kibosh on that, so...
I am surprised that they still were.
Yeah, I would have thought that they had stopped that a long time ago, but, I mean, we've all known the Vita's been functionally dead for 3 years, at least.
At least in the US.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much been, kept alive by, NIS and, Marvelous and companies like that releasing weird JRPGs and visual novels. And I guess indie games have kind of... But those those generally aren't actually physical. So I think they're still going to be releasing stuff digitally, but yeah, this is a pretty good indicator that the Vita is on borrowed time, if it wasn't already, if you didn't already know that. So
yeah. It sounds like some of the more like niche game printers are still going to be keeping things up. Like I know Limited Run Games has said that they're still doing their stuff. Fangamer came out and were like, yeah, like you can still buy copies of Undertale on Vita physically, and that's not going to change anytime soon. So a lot of like other like smaller people are still saying, yeah, we're still doing stuff, but I'm guessing that new games that aren't being done by Limited Run are not going to be released in like a large capacity at like GameStop or whatever.
So I don't want to be mean.
Okay.
But how does this change anything?
It does not.
Honestly, who was releasing new games for the Vita in 2017 or 2018?
In Nisa.
Physically.
Nisa.
I mean, like
Nisa.
Yeah,
that's about it.
Yeah, right. Like, I really like the Vita. I do but too. It has been phased out for a while, and this isn't. This is pretty expected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember the last time I heard anyone from Sony say the word Vita. So.
Not even Gio Corsi has said it, and Gio Corsi was the Vita man, so you know it's dead.
Mm-hmm.
Rest in peace, Vita. You were better than the world deserved.
The Vita fucking ruled, right?
It's a great console.
Yeah,
it's a great piece of hardware.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
It just it had like a steep price point for a bit compared to like the 3DS, didn't
Honestly,
it? Or am I misremembering?
It was more expensive, but like that OLED screen was really nice, and
the reason
it was obviously way more powerful.
The reason why the Vita failed was because of their proprietary memory cards. That is 100% what fucked it over.
Yeah.
They should not have done
about that.
Yeah,
that was a pain in the ass. Just Sony does that with everything other than their they did that with the PSP too. Which it sucked.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They did their SanDisk partnership. I think.
Yeah, it wasn't smart. It was not smart.
Well,
all right.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Andy, do you want us to both tackle this controversy on Steam?
Yeah, we were kind of talking about this a bit before the show.
Yeah.
But Steam has decided to take down a lot of. It's weird because. So when was it that Steam started allowing games with more nudity in them? Because I feel like there was a to-do about this a year or two ago where they allowed them.
Yeah, it was maybe 2 years ago.
2 years ago, sounds right.
Whenever Kindred Spirits on the Roof came out, because that was the one that people made the big deal about.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one of those games, and then.
Well, speaking of Kindred Spirits on the Roof, guess what just got removed from Steam, and guess who's cracking down on not safe for work content? Valve apparently decided to change their messaging here, and they're taking down any games that are considered pornographic.
Yeah.
So Honey Pop got taken down, which sure, that is a porn game.
Now they aren't taken down right now. They are just on short notice. I think Valve said that they have 2 weeks to either further censor their game or it will be removed.
Okay. I did not check to see if Honey Pop was still on the Steam store.
Understandable.
I just kind of assumed. But they've taken down a couple things that are you can say this is porn, but they've also taken down Kindred Spirits on the Rooftop, I believe is the full title, right?
Yes,
it's Kindred Spirits on the Roof.
On the Roof.
Kindred Spirits on the Roof, which is this very isn't that a very emotional, emotionally driven visual novel game? That's about a gay ghost.
Yeah, it's I haven't played it, but from what I've heard, it's genuinely very touching, and it's not just porn. It's treated with gravitas, and it's trying to tell a story, and it just so happens to have sexual content in it more than it's something to jack off to, I guess, was the best way of putting it.
Yeah, and
it's
I mean,
weird.
like, it's especially frustrating because specifically Kindred Spirits on the Roof, the creators of that, Lupesoft, they actually went to Valve and worked with them to figure out exactly what was okay to be put on the site. They went through the motions to make sure that what was in the game was okay with Valve. And now, just a few years later, they're being told that they can't be hosted anymore. So it seems like the big reason why this is happening, I do not remember the exact name of the bill that was passed, but recently in the US, a bill was passed to limit basically the freedoms of people who create pornographic material or people who make any sort of money off of sexual content.
Oh, this was the I don't want to. It's FOSTA, I think.
Something like that.
FOSTA or something like that.
FOSTA,
yes.
Yes.
I didn't realize that affected this as well.
So it might not have affected it directly, but the people that were behind that bill, the National Center on Sexual Exploitation, seem to have sort of pushed Valve to do this. Now
God.
they are very much a conservative group. They are a right-leaning bunch of pricks who are trying to. They are basically using the current hashtag MeToo movement for their own illicit means to try to push for overly controlling regulations on sexual content that instead of actually, maybe helping people that are stuck in human trafficking or helping sexual assault survivors or anything that would actually work that would be good for people, instead they're just making it harder for sex workers to live their lives or people that make porn to just make porn in healthy ways. It's just making it more and more difficult and more illegal, and these people are just going to be put in more dangerous situations with the passing of this sort of bill.
I mean, it's like, not to get too political on here, but it's like out of sight, out of mind, right? It's like, well, they shouldn't have been doing that in the first place.
Absolutely.
If they didn't want to have these things happen to them.
Absolutely.
That's why it's illegal. And all,
yeah.
It's bullshit, and like this is like actual, like, I don't like using the word censorship anymore because it sucks because the internet ruined it.
Yeah, it absolutely.
But like
is, though.
This is actually like ruining some, like, you can have, like, there's art out there with like nudity and deals with sexuality and stuff that is now going to be in jeopardy because of this, or because of the influence of this group.
Absolutely.
And we're seeing that now on Steam with, like, some of these games. It's also super shitty of Valve. Like,
to just bend over for this. Yeah.
Lupesoft was saying they were working with Valve, right?
Yes,
and just all of a sudden, for them to suddenly turn around to Lupesoft and say, no, we can't do this.
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys, that's just it's a bit of a Lupe fiasco.
They've been waiting the whole podcast to say that.
Yeah.
Got him!
Andy came up with that joke when we were planning this, and
yeah, it's okay. It's good.
You're so mad.
It's good. It's good. No, it's good.
Hey, Andy, remember what we said about the performance evaluation?
Oh, guys, I'm fired.
But yeah, you can make your arguments about the quality of these games. Like, Honey Pop's a shitty game, but whatever you want to say about that, the problem is that legitimate pieces of art are being censored and taken off of like Lupesoft has said that 80% of their profits are from selling their games on Steam, and if they're not able to do that, they're going to shut down, and a bunch of people are going to be out of jobs. Like, they're about to release a new game, and they're not going to be able to do that because now they're going to have to censor all their old games, and they're going to have to censor their new game, and it's just way more work than they ever expected they're going to have to do all of a sudden, all at once. And
Valve's...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say Valve's also very inconsistent with this, because there's games like The Witcher 3, the ones that cited on the article I'm looking at, Witcher 3 and Grand Theft Auto 5 are still up, and Lady Killer in a Bind hasn't been any notice given to the devs for that either. So I don't get why they're doing this, or why they're targeting certain things specifically. I guess the mentality might be like stuff focused specifically on explicit sexuality, but Kindred Spirits, it doesn't sound like that. Honeypop, sure, but then
Lady Killer in a Bind is very explicitly sexual, and
Lady Killer in a Bind is 100% like deals with so much like stuff to do with like kink and shit. Like,
yeah,
I don't want, like, I'm not saying they should take that off too. Obviously, I'm saying they need to leave. One, they should leave this stuff up. But two, they can't give preferential treatment to like AAA devs like The Witcher and Grand Theft Auto 5, or like Lady Killer in a Bind did really well. I wonder if this is one of those things where it's like, well, this game's selling well, so maybe like let's be a little slower on this one.
Who knows? I mean, there's also a sort of thing where a lot of the games that are being hit by this are way more anime focused. Like, like Lady Killer is like it's not an explicitly anime art style. It is definitely inspired, but like
it's got homage.
But like Honeypop is very anime. Like all Lupesoft stuff is very anime, and I could definitely see just like these people saying like, oh, this is just like all those really awful anime hentai games that are just pure porn and they don't actually have anything to say. Like in the tweet that the let me scroll up here. That the National Center on Sexual Exploitation posted. They said, like, Steam is going to remove sexually explicit and sexually violent video games from their platform. No more sexual assault training for the minors that use their site. Like, they're trying to spin it as, like, oh, these games have sexual assault in them, when they I don't know about Honeypop, but, like, Lupesoft's games are very explicit in saying, like, oh no, everything in our games is consensual, and so, like, it's just, they're adult. They just have adult themes in them, and it's like, that's absolutely not what those games are for. It's very much just right-wing fear-mongering, trying to scare up a bunch of afraid moms into thinking that there's a bunch of... It's a bunch of these right-wingers trying to bring up, like, Rayplay again, and it's like, no, that's not on Steam. Like...
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so it's just, like, it's people equating anime to hentai, and, like, to the uninformed, I can understand that, but, like, that's why Valve should be smart and say, no, that's not what we're hosting on our site. We're not hosting pure porn. We're not hosting sexual assault games on our site. We're just hosting games that have sex in them, because that's a normal thing that human beings do. Like,
it's like if Netflix took down every movie with a sex scene in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this stuff is explicitly said, like, there's explicit content in this. You do not play this if you are under 18. Shit like that.
Yeah.
And, like, it's the same way that, like, movies are rated, too. Again, it just reeks of Valve not wanting to cause any trouble with a different market, like any type of market that they have, and in doing so are hurting a lot of indie developers, I think.
Yeah, they're stepping on a bunch of smaller people because the bigger people aren't going to complain about it, and, like, you know, it's not going to be as big of a deal to everybody.
It's garbage, and Valve has so many problems with the way they run Steam that this is like the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah,
but they need to get their shit together and actually like stand by some of the games that they've put on there, because when you're hosting shit like there's worse things on Steam. There's like hateful stuff on Steam.
Yeah, there is.
There's like straight up games that are like racist or sexist or any type of bigoted, that like a like love story about a ghost and an anime. It's anime. It's a lesbian ghost, right? That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's Kindred Spirits. Yeah.
Oh, that sounds fun. That doesn't like that sounds harmless and like really nice to like tons of people.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't get why you're removing the romance game that has some like that has a sex scene in it when they like dragged their feet. Are like, is Hatred even still up? I think that got taken down.
I think it is. I want to say it is.
Hatred is still up on Steam.
But it's like it's not even just Hatred either. Like, there are games with sex that are being left up. Like House Party is still on Steam. I think somebody just like leaked that there's a new Leisure Suit Larry coming out on Steam. I don't know if that's actually real, but if there's a fucking Leisure Suit Larry coming out, like how is Leisure Suit Larry okay, but Kindred Spirits isn't? Like,
yeah, and
it's like one of those things where you can have like tons of people on your Steam community too leaving reviews full of like terrible, heinous shit for games that they don't like because of someone's political affiliation. But you immediately move, and like people will tell you like, hey, there's a lot of harassment, or like people are like torpedoing my game's scores because they don't like my like this happened a lot with Gamergate.
Yeah,
yes,
when that was a big thing, and they did nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the second people are just like, oh, this has like the second this watchdog group pops up, they roll over, and it shows where they like really what they really care about, and it's just their bottom line.
Yeah, it's fucked, and it's very upsetting, and at the very least, I hope that the people that are being taken off of Steam, I mean, I hope most of them land on their feet. I'll be honest, I don't really give too much of a damn what happens to the Honey Pop people, but I hope Lupesoft is okay, and I hope everyone else who isn't friggin' weird with their porn stuff, I hope they're all okay too.
I hope that they can find, like, they can put their stuff up on other, like, they definitely probably have their stuff up on other platforms like Itch and Humble and Good Old Games. But I really hope that as this stuff keeps happening with Steam, that those become more viable for these smaller developers. Because when you've got, like, Steam basically has a monopoly on PC games at this point, aside from some AAA, like, exclusive stuff like EA Origin, and, like, Ubisoft had their thing for a while, but even then, a lot of Ubisoft games are now just on Steam.
Yeah, they still release everything on Steam, they just require you to open Uplay if you buy it.
Exactly.
Like, yeah.
It's just one of those things where it's like, when you get in this situation where it becomes less and less feasible to make a PC game if you know that it is not going to be able to be on Steam.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of becoming unfeasible to make a PC game to begin with because Steam is so, like, cluttered and full of shit anyway. Like, indie devs, I forget who it was, or somebody recently wrote an article, I think it might have been Jason Schreier, like a few months ago, where he was, like, interviewing indie devs, and they were saying, oh yeah, like, we make no money off Steam because the store is so cluttered now with shit that, like, people don't see our games. So, like, you know.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Hey, maybe having your entire storefront run by algorithms and your user base is a bad idea.
Yeah, yep. Maybe.
Weird. Maybe you should have people actually do something at your company.
Instead of just making a bunch of computers that nobody will buy, like, run your store.
Listen, they gotta patch Dota. It's a lot of work.
They have enough people to patch Dota and fucking run Steam and have someone individually polish each of Gabe's knives. They have enough people at Valve to do all that shit. Like,
this has me thinking about the Campo Santo deal, because they were very explicit now about saying, like, oh yeah, but our games aren't only going to be on Steam now. They're going to be on all other platforms as well.
I don't know.
Like I wonder if that came out of this, like, even a company that is owned by Steam is like, yeah, but the storefront's a little messed up, so we're going to put this out on the PS4 and Xbox and Switch.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like that
Let me tell you, that's one valve I want to shut off.
Look, that was heavy, but I did just look at Twitter and saw a picture of the AVGN next to a buffalo as if it's going to take a diarrhea dump in his ear, so that is very good.
Uh-oh. That's... Fuck. Talking about Pokemon Red, Pokemon Red remakes and Angry Video Game Nerd, and now, like... sex and games.
It's 2000 again, baby.
It's the mid 2000s again. We're gonna be on Fox News talking about Mass Effect being pornographic. That's why they're doing this. They're afraid of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Garbage.
It's the same thing. Yeah. Niall, Niall, you have some good news. How about we hear some good news? Let's hear the good news.
Yeah, sure. So, God, this is a weird segue, but sure. So Microsoft have unveiled a new accessible controller, the Xbox Adaptive Controller.
Yes.
So it's like a big programmable controller with a D-pad and like two big buttons on it that like you can program for different things, and it's modular, so you can there's something like 20 I think jacks on it that you can plug things into that will function as different buttons or whatever. It looks really, really good. Like it's a huge step forward for games, because obviously, there are a lot of people who would like to play games that maybe can't due to, various disabilities or similar things like that. So, it's nice to see one of the big companies come out and say, okay, we've been working on this, and here is something that's going to open us up to more people. It's a nice move to make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's official, so you don't have to go through a bunch of like third parties. And also you can plug in pretty much whatever you need to into it to make it work. So there are controllers that you can just blow or suck into that, like, like if you don't even have the use of arms or legs, you can just use your breath, and that works with this controller. There's an official, like, nunchuck-like thing that you can plug into it, like the Wii nunchuck, so you could use that for buttons or a control stick, and you don't have to worry about holding a whole controller. Like, you can plug pretty much whatever you need to, and it also works on PC as well, so you could just plug it into a PC if you want.
I believe Able Gamers collaborated with them on this.
Correct.
Yes.
And they've been doing some really good work in this field for like a while.
Yes.
And it's really nice to see devs actually like reaching out and using those guys as not just like consultants but collaborators.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is as important as it is to like try and like do something in-house, you need to actually reach out to the people you're trying to help and to know what they need. And it seems like they've covered like every single possible one of their bases here.
Absolutely.
I'm really hoping that it turns out like as good as it looks. Is there a release on that yet, or is it still just kind of in early phases?
I believe they said that they'd be announcing it at E3.
Okay.
I feel like I saw the head designer of the controller on Twitter saying, yeah, we don't have a pre-order or anything up for it yet, but E3 more details. So
yeah, and they said it'll be $100, which is like, that might sound expensive at first, but when you think about like how much money that usually has to go into making a controller like that through a third party, that is quite the steal, instead of like having someone have to cobble it together from their own parts. Like, the fact that this is a regulated thing that Microsoft can just manufacture is a huge step forward.
Yeah, I really hope it does well.
Me too.
So that other studios keep to like, because as shitty as it is, like, companies are gonna pay attention to what makes them money as well. But I think that I want more developers to take notice of this, particularly like Nintendo and Sony.
Yeah,
I want them to take notice that there is that one of the other companies is making an accessible controller for people. Because that's also a thing as, like, I know some people who are talking about, like, getting older and wanting to still play games, but knowing that, like, they won't be able to as well because of known health issues and shit that haven't arisen yet. Mm-hmm. And then this is kind of a step in the direction of future-proofing that for them, so that they can do what they need to still have their hobby when they're, like, when they're not able to use the normal controllers. And I've also seen people be like, yeah, I just already can't, and I'm not, like, I guess the term is, like, visibly disabled. I might be saying that wrong, and I'm sorry if I am, but, like, people who have, like, stuff like carpal tunnel, or, like, that's a very minor one, I'm assuming, but, like, people who have muscle deficiency, like, problems.
Right.
And this seems much easier to handle.
Yeah.
For people like that, too. And so I just saw a lot of, like, I saw some really knee-jerk reactions where, like, why are you doing this? What is that? That looks weird. How do you use that? And I'm like, well, it's not for most of the people asking that question. And the fact that a lot of gamers were, like, making fun of it really bums me out.
Yeah.
Because you might need it someday, you friggin' nerds. God damn. I'm gonna steal your lunch money and shove you in a locker.
Yeah, well, I am definitely glad that it exists, and I also agree that Sony and Nintendo need to
yes,
pony up as well. So yeah, there you go. That's some good news. I'm gonna ask real quick. Niall, you did write down in our notes, Michael threatened to kill me. I don't remember this happen. When did Michael threaten to kill you?
Michael threatens to kill all of us.
Yeah.
I love you, Michael. I'm sorry.
Fair enough.
Sorry for libeling you.
Yeah, it's okay. He won't hear this.
Hey, Michael, why don't you listen to our show?
I don't listen to this show. I mean, I'm on fucking every episode, so, you know.
Yeah,
Alright. So real quick, I'm just gonna run down some fun shit that happened to me. So I finished up Ratchet & Clank, which I didn't have too much left of that. I will just say that the last level wasn't amazing, but the rest of that game is very good, so I still recommend it. But the big thing that happened to me was, I got some fucking deals!
Oh yeah, the deals!
I got some deals! So, I mentioned last week that I was hunting around for that GBA SP. And I found a game store nearby that had one, a GBA SP AGS 101, which is the one that is... Okay, so the backlit one is the one that looks nice. Frontlit is the one that's dark. Backlit is pretty. So I got the backlit one. And A, it looks amazing. It's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted. B, I got it for $45. If you go on eBay, those things go for like $120. So I made a fucking deal on that one. So not only did I buy that, I bought some games, and I'll just go over it real quick. I bought Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, which if you've ever played a Puzzle League game, it is that, but it is small. It is on the Game Boy Color, so it is a small one of those. And it's got Pokemon in it, so it's cute. And it's got Pokemon music, so you know I like that. You know I like Pokemon. I also bought an original Game Boy game called just Donkey Kong. Now, this isn't just any Donkey Kong. This is the one... Andy, are you saying something?
No, I'm just laughing at you. Because you're so... Yeah, it's not mean laughing, it's just I love how enthusiastic you get. Sorry, continue.
It's okay. This is Donkey Kong 94, and this is probably the best, like, mainline, not non-country, this is like pre-country, this is the best Donkey Kong game. It is not just like, oh, climb up the girders. They made a puzzle platformer game that is basically like it's so funny the way that they set it up, because the first 4 levels of the game are just the arcade Donkey Kong. Like, it's you jumping over the barrels, it's you climbing up to the thing, and it's you beating Donkey Kong. But after you finish those levels, instead of just Donkey Kong being knocked out on the bottom of the girders, he pops back up and he grabs Pauline again, and then it just opens up into these new levels, and there's just all these like really great puzzle platforming levels, and it's so much fun. If you've played not any of the other ones after, but if you play the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong, it is like this was the prequel, basically. Mario vs. Donkey Kong came after that. And then after that first Mario vs. Donkey Kong, that was when they started just doing like the minis games that are all just like lemmings. But the original Mario vs. Donkey Kong and this are just like that. But it is very, very good. If you want to find a very good Game Boy game, like original Game Boy game, this is the one that you want to look for. So yeah, like it's Donkey Kong 94 if you want to find that specific one. And then the last one I bought is I bought an RPG for the Game Boy Advance called Golden Sun.
The best game on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, it's so good, dude.
It's so good. I love that game so much.
Like as soon as I mentioned that, both of you were like, "Oh my god!" Like,
it is one of those series that like I'm dying for them to like, because they did that DS one, and then that ends on a cliffhanger. Not too many spoilers, but like. They left that story unfinished, and it's very much my Mega Man Legends.
Yeah, no, I like, you saying it's your Mega Man Legends, I understand completely. I am not too far into it. I didn't just get the third party member, but I'm a little further than that. But I do really, really like it. It is very fun. The combat is fun because you get all the like little genies, and they help you with their powers. And the graphics are so cool, like with the theatrics swinging of the camera back and forth.
That game is so like forgotten in terms of like, holy crap! Look at what you can do just with like pixels.
Yeah.
Because, like, even the, like, people talk about, the sprite work in Fire Emblem from that era a lot, for good reason, but I feel like Golden Sun in combat has those big, like, you haven't even gotten to some of the big moves yet, but they look, like, I'm doing a chef kiss right now. So I'm really excited to hear what you think of that as you get deeper into it.
Oh, totally. But I am absolutely going to, like, look into the rest of this franchise. I am super interested. I like it a whole lot. And I am absolutely open to Game Boy Advance recommendations. You know, I definitely want to try some more. Like, I'm probably going to pick up, like, the Sonic Advance games. I know those are very good. You know, I'm going to look into some more. Like, I'll probably pick up Mario vs. Donkey Kong, since I really like Donkey Kong 94.
Have you played the, in quotes, original Fire Emblems that were released in North America?
I don't think
Fire
so.
Emblem 7, I guess.
I don't think so.
Those are definitely worth picking up. They're very different from modern Fire Emblem, but I think you'd dig them. They're very fun.
Yeah. No, I'll definitely look into it. But they're like, I am on a very similar quest with the Game Boy Advance than I was with the DS. Like, I was buying those DS games not too long ago. I'm going to be doing the same thing with GBA, because I'm going to fill in those gaps. Because all I played when I was younger is Pokemon, and I want to fix that. So yeah, Game Boy Advance, original Game Boy. Even I'd love to look into some more original Game Boy stuff.
That Ninja Cop game.
Ninja 5-0.
Yeah, you gotta get Ninja 5-0.
That game is
somehow.
That game's kind of expensive. If I can find it, and it's not like $60, maybe, but. Yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah, $70 or a boxed copy is $200. Never mind. That game rips, though.
Yeah. Also, I will say, to make everyone not super worried about me, I am not going for boxed copies of these games.
Oh, thank God.
That would be debilitatingly expensive. Like, with DS games, it's like, okay, sure, it's like another, like, maybe $5 to $10, and it's like, okay, yeah, that makes sure that it's nice and safe on my shelf. For Game Boy Advance games, because everyone threw the boxes out because they were cardboard, it makes it so much more expensive. I am not gonna fuck around with that. Like, anything like before the DS with Nintendo, I don't worry about the boxes, because it's impossible. Everyone threw them out. I threw them out when I was a kid. Everyone threw them out when they were a kid. Like, NES, Super Nintendo, N64. nah, like there's no way. Unless I've just come across it and it's not too expensive. Like maybe 1 or 2 games, like I might eventually shell out a good amount of money for like a nice boxed copy of like N64 Smash Bros, but like that's cuz it's Smash Bros. But yeah, that's all. That's all. If we're done with all of that though, if y'all don't have anything else you want to add, we can move on to questions.
Hell yeah, baby.
I'll just go ahead and read them off. We didn't get too many, so we can run through this here. If you want to send in a question, go ahead to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com, which is our email address, or videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask, which is our Tumblr. You could sound like these fine folks here, such as Shoeless, who asks, if you were in Battletech and had a giant robot to command, what would your call sign be?
Oh.
I know mine.
What's yours?
Share with the class?
I'd be bashful.
Well, good night, everyone. That's the podcast.
I guess I'd be sleepy or dopey, maybe, if we're going with the we're the 7 dwarves, right?
No,
that's our naming convention for our squad.
It doesn't have to be. It can be if you want, but it doesn't have to be.
I mean, I'm fine with being dopey, but in front of it, I do need to have the important acronym of MDK for Murder, Death, Kill. You know,
yes.
Shout out to the god Nick Gage.
Yeah.
That's a rest.
Shout out to the 3 people who are going to listen to this and get it.
That's a wrestling joke, everybody.
Gang
it's just a very stupid thing.
God. Niall, do you have a call
Eastern
sign?
Bloc.
Do you have a call sign, Niall?
Nothing. Sleepy. Yeah, that'll do.
All right, there you go.
There.
An anonymous Tumblr user asks, "Dear Video Game Choo Choo, of the 3 movies in the 3 movies of the Austin Powers trilogy, which one do you think is the best?"
Okay, if anybody says Goldfinger, you're fired.
It's Goldmember, thank you.
Goldmember, sorry. Goldfinger's the ripoff that those British guys did. The best one's the original, because it has the funny joke where he pees for a really long time.
I think that's in all of them. I think they use the same
Yeah,
joke.
I think it is. I think it might actually be.
What's the one where he drinks fat bastard's poop?
That's Goldmember, I think.
Shit, did I just say Goldmember's the... Goldmember might actually be the best one, because it's the worst one. That's also got the one where he, like, has to pee and hide as a fountain.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah, I
a
think
subversion of the other joke because he can't keep peeing, but he must keep peeing.
Those movies all suck.
I have no urine, but I must pee.
I'm abstaining from answering because this all suck. My favorite Austin Powers thing is whenever I go to a video game store and I see a copy of either I don't remember the other one, but there's like the 2 Game Boy Color ones, and I just remember the Dr. Evil version is just called Welcome to My Underground Lair, and it just says Dr. Evil on it, and it's just like a computer. It's a fake computer in your Game Boy Color for some fucking reason.
Sorry to interrupt. Breaking news. Some news has come across the desk. The PS4 version for Fire Pro World just got a release date.
Oh, okay. What is it?
I'm going off a Google Translate of the director's tweet here, but the date in the tweet is August 9th, 2018.
Okay.
And that will include the New Japan expansion and story mode. And then right now, again, just going off this tweet, the price is scheduled for 5,800 yen. I don't have conversions quickly. Anyway, that literally dropped like 2 minutes ago.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Andy.
No
Rest
problem.
in peace, Fern Troyer.
Yeah, rest in peace, Vern Troyer.
MDK forever.
Yeah.
Because Vern Troyer was MDK. Like,
yes.
Yeah.
So is Mike Myers.
Video Game Choo Choo is also MDK.
God.
Stupid fucking show.
Alright,
This is why I'm not on here.
Can we get Nick Gage on the podcast at some point? Like,
Nick Gage would just be like, what the fuck is a video game? Why am I? Who are you, pussies? Like he'd say that. I'm sorry for using that word. I don't like. I'm fired again. But that's what he would say to us.
It's fair. That's fair. We got another anonymous Tumblr user who asks, the recent Far Cry games seem to be lauded for their stories, but in turn always fumble the endings. Why is this?
Are they lauded for their stories?
Yeah, I was gonna argue that especially 5, people were like, this story isn't good, I'm just having, I know people that absolutely did not like that game, but everyone who had fun with it was just like, the story sucks in this game, but the combat and the, leveling loop is fun, and that's why I'm having a good time. It doesn't sound like anyone liked the story at all.
I mean, 3, for some reason, got, a BAFTA nomination for its story. I feel like people have been blowing...
I feel like
people have been really blowing those games out of proportion, and I wonder if that, reputation has just stuck around from, as Niall said, a very different time.
Yeah, and, I played Far Cry 5. There's barely a story in that game, and what there is sure isn't any good. I mean, I don't think any of that game is any good, but, I don't know where the idea that... I don't think I've seen anyone be like, oh, this story is great. I feel like when that game came out, the big thing everyone was like, oh, they absolutely didn't do the thing that everyone wanted them to do. This has nothing to say. This could have actually... Far Cry 5 could have had comments to make about the world, and it kind of had none of it. It was just... Here's a redneck militia fighting a redneck cult. Alright. I don't know.
Woohoo.
Yeah. Not a great game.
Nah.
No. Not a great series.
No.
I'd go as far to say. 2 stands above the rest.
2 is a weird game.
That game also had no story, and that game is there's a story, but a lot of that game's story is and I don't like using marketing speak, but a lot of that's very organic and kind of comes out of the stories of you playing that game.
Yeah. Okay. The Mighty Mighty Boss Stones asks, the Kingdom Hearts 3 Invitational event revealed that Wreck-It Ralph would be in a summon in the game. That was something that you didn't get to mention, but we'll talk about this here.
Yeah.
What are some Disney characters that you would feel would make good summons, but you wouldn't want to necessarily visit an entire world based on their character? Or, vice versa, is there a previously summonable character from Kingdom Hearts that you wish would have a full world? Personally...
Chicken Little.
Okay. Personally, I think it's criminal that Stitch is a summon in Kingdom Hearts 2, but there isn't a Lilo and Stitch world.
There is a Lilo and Stitch world. There's a world that you go to Stitch's space prison in Birth by Sleep. Please play the entire franchise before making claims.
I think we gotta fire Andy again.
Yeah, third time's the charm.
It eventually circles back, and I'm rehired, and I'm also your boss now. Yeah. Because I've been fired so many times. I legitimately, though, I would like to go to, an actual Hawaii world. Yeah. That's, got, a weird alien, Heartless going on there. Mm-hmm. A Disney... I think Wall-E could be a fun summon as a support type thing.
Yeah. See that?
He's not a fighter, but he could help you, he could heal you or something, or do some he could buff you in some way.
Yeah.
I think that would be cute, or they could have him and the other robot do stuff together. I think a lot of what Disney worlds are there that they haven't really done? I don't want them to do anything with Pocahontas because that's you can't do. It's 2018. You can't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, The Princess and the Frog, I'd love to see more stuff from.
Yeah. Yeah,
the villain from that, I think, would fit perfectly in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys have anything? I know that I'm the big Kingdom Hearts fan here, but
I've never played Kingdom Hearts, and I'm not a huge Disney fan, but I like Mulan. I don't know if there's any Mulan stuff.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, they did. Starting at 2, they've had full Mulan worlds in like most of the games.
Okay, well then, they already have what I would want.
There you go.
Pretty decent world.
I think it would be pretty funny to just have like maybe like Lady and the Tramp or something. Maybe they could like show up and like boost your abilities with like your friends or something. That would work. That would be a cool summon. Oh, you know what would it would be a really good world. It just hit me.
Mm-hmm.
They should do an Oliver and Company world.
That's Disney, right? That is Disney.
I'm like 90% sure that's Disney. Yeah.
Oh, they should have that dog that sings the like song at the beginning be an assist, and it's just he sings that song.
Yeah, it's just Billy Joel just showing up and singing.
Yeah. Just get Billy Joel in there. That's literally,
Yeah, I want Billy Joel in my Kingdom Hearts, please. I really do. Yeah, it doesn't even have to be the dog. I just want Billy Joel to be a summon in that game.
He just shows up and sings something.
He's just like, what the fuck is this? Like,
he's the new voice of Sora. They got rid of Haley Joel Osment, and it's Billy Joel now.
Fucking 70-year-old Billy Joel just...
Sora's just playing the piano an awful lot in the new game. It's real weird.
Sora does not shut up about going to Madison Square Garden.
Oh my god. A slight legitimate answer that just popped into my head. I'd love to see stuff based around either their like really old stuff, like they did with the throwback world, the Timeless River in Kingdom Hearts 2. Or I'd love to see stuff based on some of their TV properties, like Darkwing Duck being a summon would be sick.
Yes.
Like that's an easy to do summon. That's not gonna alienate people, and you could have like a funny, like they have Scrooge in there, and he wasn't in like a movie or anything. You know?
Yeah. I mean, he was in like a lot of like animated shorts, but yeah, I don't think he's been in a movie. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we got one more question here. This is just kind of if you want to sound just as pissed as this person, you can send a question to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask.
Oh no.
Or podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. You'll sound I kind of hope you don't sound like this person, but an anonymous Tumblr user says, why the fuck does Nintendo think anyone plays Pokemon Go anymore? Why would they try to make a game that incorporates a practically dead app? Why is Nintendo like this?
Oh my god.
I mean, it's definitely not dead. I still see tweets of people saying, oh, I went on a raid, oh, I went to go catch a legendary Pokemon. Like, people are still definitely playing it. Like, enough people are playing it that they're still doing, like, another one of those big Pokemon Go events. But, so I don't think them integrating with Pokemon Go is necessarily a bad idea. I personally would rather they didn't base the game off of Pokemon Go, because, like, actual Pokemon is way more fun than Pokemon Go. Like, Pokemon Go is okay for a mobile game, but it is not a 3DS game. It is not a Switch game, especially not a Switch game. Like, you look at the fucking Nintendo Switch. You can play Mario Odyssey. Like, you can play a full Mario game. You can play a full Zelda game on that thing. And I hope that they don't just make basically a mobile game on the Switch. Like, that would not... Like, I don't think they're going to do that. But incorporating too much of a mobile game onto a Switch game would be not a great idea, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. They're going to announce it soon if the leak is true. So, we'll see. Does anyone else have anything to throw in there? No?
No.
Okay.
No.
If they do that, it's Pokemon going to be a bad time.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I am Pokemon going to drive off a cliff if that game sucks. Like, alright, well, that will do it for the show. Thank you, Niall and Andy, for being on.
How was my performance review?
Well, it was good up until that Pokemon going thing, and now, I'm sorry.
Looks like I'm Pokemon going to be looking for a new job.
Yeah.
Andy, why don't you tell us about some of the other things that you work on?
Yeah, so you can also find me on the internet. I am a cast member on the show Friends at the Table, which you can find at friendsathetable.net or at friends_table on Twitter, and then that's on iTunes and any other place where you can download your podcasts. It's a sort of like a tabletop storytelling thing that I have a lot of fun with.
Cool.
And I'm also on another podcast with fellow Video Game Choo Choo staff member Ryan called Emoji Drome, which we launched like 3 months ago, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
And that's been a very fun time where we just review different variations on bad emoji. And
it's a very funny show.
Just hoot and holler for an hour. So if you like a good hootin' and a good hollerin', head on over to Emoji Drome. That's on iTunes. That's on most, I believe, podcast apps. And if there's a problem, let us know over at Emoji Drome on Twitter. DROME.
Thank you.
That's all I got.
All right. Niall, I don't know if you have anything.
No, nothing.
Okay. I don't either, so don't worry about it. So, our Patreon, if you don't remember, it's at patreon.com/VGCC. I am currently beginning work on our first Patreon early content, where we're going to release it for patrons a week before we release it for free. It is an incredibly stupid thing that I am doing. I won an eBay auction to buy a book called Duke Nukem Does the Internet. It is a book written in 1997 in the voice of Duke Nukem, teaching you how to use computers. I am going to read the whole thing in my best Duke Nukem impression. I'm going to try to read like a handful of pages every week. And, I think we'll release it, it'll be every 2 weeks, so it'll be, first week we'll release for patrons, then free, then patrons, then free. I think that's what we're gonna do. I'm not 100% sure when I'm gonna launch this, because I still need to figure out exactly how we're gonna do it for free. I might just host it on Patreon, that seems like it'll probably be the best option, but that's going to be our first patron early thing. So go to patreon.com.
An audiobook.
It's audio. It's all audio. It's just going to be me doing my best Duke voice, reading this book. It is incredibly out of print. This might be the only way that you can experience this book. So if you want to hear this, please go to our Patreon and donate $1. $1 will give you access to this early. Or you could just wait a week and be behind the times.
John, you gotta stick with the hard sell. You literally just had, this is the only place you can ever access this book, followed by, or you could just wait a bit.
Look, I'm trying to be honest that, I appreciate any support that you give us, but please know that I will only continue to do this if you give us money. So, patreon.com/VGCC. You will hear me do a very bad Duke Nukem impersonation. You will just reading this book all about Duke Nukem. No. Like that's about what you're gonna expect from this. So if you want to keep up with the rest of the stuff that we're doing, our Twitter is at VGChooChoo, our Tumblr is videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com, and we have a Discord server at thegamezone.zone. If you type that into your web browser, that will bring you to the invite page. That will bring you to our Discord server. Come and hang out. It's a great time. And one more thing that I gotta say, real quick, is we are currently looking for some new people to join us. If you are interested, please send some writing to john@videogamechoochoo.com. That is my email address. Or if you are interested in helping us with video and audio, send some samples of that to that same email address. I will get in touch with you as soon as possible. Once you do so, I've been kind of just, as people have been sending them in, I've been adding them on Discord and talking to them because I want to get to know everybody and I want to make this a smooth process. So if you are interested in joining the site, please go ahead and send writing samples or audio and video samples. I would love to see I've already seen a great variety of people applying, and I want to see more. So you have I didn't really set an exact date on when I'm cutting this off. I'm going to say like about another week and a half. So I'd say maybe like next Wednesday. So that would be I'm going to look at my calendar really quick. The 30th.
20...
or the 20...
30th.
Yeah, I'll say the 30th. Yeah, the 30th will be when we cut that off. So keep sending in your applications, and I'll get in touch. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll see you next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. So long.